Welcome back to Just a Verse. My name is Bridget, and I picked just a verse from the Bible, go into detail on that verse, and support it with instances, stories, and experiences. So, we're going to jump right into the verse of the day. The verse we're going to be working on is Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. And I read, Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." Okay, so, like always, before we dive into that verse, let me just go ahead and give you a short summary of the few verses before the 37. So, in the beginning of the chapter, what's about the parable of the wedding feast, right? So Jesus shared a story of a king who held a wedding feast for his son. So that same chapter was about paying taxes to Caesar. The Pharisee asked Jesus a question about paying taxes to Caesar. That same chapter also talked about the resurrection of the dead. The Sadducees asked Jesus a question about a woman who has been married 7 times. So, whenever you do get the chance, you could take your time to read throughout that whole chapter. So, then a lawyer asked Jesus that, what is the greatest commandment in the law? So that was when Jesus said, the greatest commandment, it's for you to love the Lord with all your heart, your soul, and with all your mind. So now, what is the meaning of that verse? So if somebody loves the Lord with their whole heart, right, that means that God always comes first. And if somebody loves the Lord with their whole soul, that means they will die for God. Their soul belongs to God. And then if somebody loves the Lord with their whole mind, then that means that they're always thinking about God. But don't worry, because I'm going to provide instances for you to get a really good grasp of the explanation of that verse. This person truly loves the Lord with her whole heart. Regardless of what she goes through, she still loves God. She worships God in all circumstance. She has an unconditional love for God. But even though she has truly loved God, but throughout her years, she has been suffering financially. But still, even though she hasn't been financially stable, she still really loves God. So one day, somebody comes to this woman and tells this woman that, hey, I know where you could get a very good source of income. So she introduces her to something, right? That is kind of like a scam, like scamming, but then she could really get a lot of money. But because she loves the Lord with her whole heart, she chooses God first. That, okay, yeah, it is true. Financially, I'm not that stable, but I love God. If I scam people, I'm going to hurt people. So, yes, I'm going to get a lot of money from that. But then I love God. So I have to choose God first. So even though I don't have money, I will just depend on God because I know that my God will provide. So she reject that offer. This even reminds me of a story that I watched on YouTube. So I was watching this story, and this story was about a woman. She said she first had a job, and what she was doing was it was kind of like scamming. So she would tell people that they're really in proximity to getting a job, right? So then she would tell them, like, hey, yeah, you're about to get this job. So come for this interview. So then the people's expectation would be so high. But then she ends up telling them that, oh no, actually you didn't get the job, but then we have a different opportunity for you. And this opportunity is for you to get into a school. And one time she got really convicted and she was like, this job, yes, it's true. I am getting a lot of money, but then I am so convicted right now. This is not of God. So she just quit that job. And then she was talking about how she said how the job was giving her a very good pay. But then she chose God because she trusts God and know that God would take care of her. So this is the same thing with this girl that I was talking about in this instance. So she decides to not take that offer. And since she chose God and loves God with her whole heart, what she would attain is being closer to God, being attached to God, getting God's favor, and also blessing from God. Because we even know that in the Bible it says, when you seek the kingdom first, when you choose God first, all these additional stuff shall be added onto you. So because you chose God first, God would say, I will take care of you. I will bless you financially. So yeah, so that is a person who loves the Lord with her whole heart. So for this person, he loves God with his whole soul. But then he has been battling with this sickness. So then somebody comes to him that, hey, so I know you've been sick for a while now. Don't you want to go see a magical healer? So a healer that is operating through a different spirit, not the Holy Spirit. But because this person loves the Lord with his whole soul, he decides that, yes, it's true. He is dying. But ultimately, his soul belongs to God. God is the one who brought him to this world. So if God decides that he wants to take his life, he said, Lord, I surrender to you. And he is not going to give his soul to the enemy, even though he is suffering. But then he has given his soul to God. So then he decides that, Lord, my life belongs to you. So a woman, right? She has been joining this, I would say, group, right? So it came to a time when she discerned that this group, they're doing some things that are not of God. And she said, no. So if I stay in this group, it's not going to be good for me. My relationship with God is going to be ruined. So even though she finds so much joy in that group, she is happy. But she decides that no, she is going to quit that group because her soul belongs to God. At the end of the day, she wants to be on God's side. She wants God to save her. So this is a person who loves the Lord with her whole soul. When somebody who she really loves introduces her to certain things that is not of God, she would say, no, my soul belongs to the Lord. So yes, I love you, but I love God more. This is a person who loves the Lord with her whole soul. This person, he just cannot stop thinking about God. When he's eating, he thinks about God. When he's walking, he thinks about God. When he's sitting with his friends, he would just be smiling and people would be asking, why are you smiling? And he's just like, I'm just imagining myself having a great time with God. He just can't stop thinking about God. So then one time he just finds himself in sin. He's tempted to the highest level. But because he's thinking about God 24/7, while he's so close to that act, he just thinks about God and just say, no, I quit. I'm not doing this. This is a person who loves the Lord with his whole mind. So we do see that because he loves the Lord with his whole mind, it is leading him into righteousness. So let us love the Lord with our whole heart, mind, and soul. And if you feel like you don't love God honestly, right? You know yourself that maybe you've been saying you love the Lord, but now you're really scrutinizing, and then you're just thinking that, I'm thinking that I don't truly love God. Just go to God and then tell him that, God, I need help. I want to truly love you. And then God is going to help you because he is just waiting on us. So if we go to God, that God, we need help, God is going to come in and demonstrate his love to you so that you could truly know God and fall intensely in love with God. And by endeavoring to truly love God, we do see that you do gain earthly blessings. You would just be favored and just have everything that you want in this world, because if you have Jesus Christ, you have everything. You just have everything that you want in this world. And at the end of the day, you are also on the right road, the road to heaven. Yeah, so let us try so hard to love God with our whole heart, our mind, and our soul. And then ultimately, we will be at the feet of Jesus, where there is no more pain, no suffering, and where we're no longer battling with the devil. A place full of a lot of joy. I hope that this message truly blessed you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and then share this video if somebody came into your mind while you were watching this. And then see you when I upload my next video. Bye-bye.